Okay, I'm here today to tell you that even if you feel like crap, put some lipstick on and comb your hair. Don't forget to brush your teeth. This is my page. It's very glary that I did today. I don't know why. I was depressed today. I'm just not feeling happy, and I've been fighting it for, a few days. It's been hard. But I got out my paints and I got out my book and I just smooshed. I cut these flowers out with my Cricut. You can use anything, cut them out of a magazine, whatever, and just smooshed paint on top of them so it looks like I painted them, but I didn't paint them. So, and then I just glued these pieces of paper on, and then we just smooshed colors and wrote some affirmations and intentions underneath the layers, and then just covered them up with layers, and then threw some gold leaf all over, because if you put gold leaf on even crappy stuff, it looks great. Gold leaf is a wonderful fix me cover up thing. Anyways, okay, so this is today's page. All right, so get your stuff out. Even if you feel crappy, get your book out. See you in a minute. Okay, so today is the 27th, and I'm not feeling particularly wonderful today, but I'm going to use this opportunity to do my journaling and use it as a medicine. So what I'm going to do is, I've already gessoed this page, and I'm just going to put this on, not overly thick, but thick enough that I can make an imprint in it. And there's a piece of napkin there. Yeah, I find when, I start feeling down, it would be easier to just, I don't know, sometimes to just go lay down. The cats look particularly cuddly. It would just be so much easier to go lay down in bed where it's nice and warm with little fuzzy people, I was going to say, little fuzzy beings. But I'm not going to. I'm going to do this. And I find that usually when this happens and I start creating, it pulls me out of it. So that's what I'm working on right now, pulling myself out of it. Excuse me. This is a piece of bubble wrap that I ripped out of the inside of an envelope. And I'm just pressing it into this gesso. Oh, excuse the tickle in my throat. And that gives us some pretty interesting textures. Not bad, eh? It's kind of fun. I'm going to dry this and have a drink of water, and I'll be back in a second. Okay. It's almost dry. I'm going to be playing today with DecoArt's premium acrylic paints. These are really nice. Anyways, you can add texture medium if you want to make them thicker, or they're a medium body paint. So you can see it doesn't really, it's not runny, right? So we're going to use, I'm feeling kind of dark blue pink today. So I'm going to, I've got, ultramarine blue, and this is Payne's gray. So I'm going to stick that there. It's a very dark gray. And then I'm going to have some red over here. This one is pyrrole red. And some titanium white. I'm going to keep these separate. These two I'm going to muck around with. I found the most amazing blending tool, or not blending tool, in lieu of credit card, use a Starbucks card. Isn't that cute? And one end is narrower. I'm loving this. I'm loving it. Anyways, so what I'm going to do is just going to put some white here and there. And here and there. So we're just going to... And then I'm going to put some Payne's Gray here and there. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just playing right now. Like, my brain is mentally done right now. It's done. Okay. And then I'm just going to take this card and, I don't know, let's just smear and see where things take us. Let's see where they take us. And keep in mind, if you don't like it, add some, change the colors, add more white, add more blue, right? Try not to muddy them up. If it feels like it's getting muddy, scrape it off and try something else. Okay, let's get some more blue. I like the blue. I like the blue, and I like the white. So I think I want more white. And if it starts blending too much, give it a shot of air. I'm gonna put some white over that, and some white over that. I know, it looks terrible. Don't worry about it. I'll be right back. Okay. I want more white, for sure. I need more white. And don't, like, if you don't like the way something looks, don't worry about it. We're doing layers, right? Like, my layers with the bubble wrap, they may or may not show through. Some of them are showing through, right? But by the time I'm done, they may not. Or maybe only one or two will show through, right? It adds to the whole story, right? It's layers. They add an energy, right? And I was also I was watching a video last night, and you can write. So you can start out by writing on your page, right? And write down a memory, or write down how you're feeling or how you would like to feel, and then go over it in layers, because it's like setting an intention, right? So I'm gonna dry this, and then I'm actually gonna do that when I come back. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm not gonna do it right away because I just had a really good idea. I'm gonna do it after, but I want more blue on the page. Okay, so let's get rid of this one because that's got the Payne's Gray in it, and I'll probably use a little bit of Payne's Gray later for adding some dark, like low lights, and adding some depth. But right now, I'm going to use my Starbucks card and some ultramarine blue. Okay. And I'm just going to put it on there. Okay. This is kind of, it's an exercise in mindfulness, right? Just being present. Just watch more or less what your paint is doing. You don't have to worry about anything else right at this very minute. Just pay attention to what your paint is doing. This is kind of fun. Actually, it's very fun. Okay. I like this for now. I like it as a layer. Okay. So I'm going to dry this. And dry that. And then I'll come back. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to see, this is kind of smooth and slippery, so I'm going to see if this stabilo, white stabilo works on here. If it's not, I mean, this isn't going to really show afterwards. I'm just writing intentions here. But if it's, like I'm thinking I might want some grit, so I might actually put on some clear gesso. Actually, I think I'm actually going to use some white gesso and really water it down. Okay, so I'm just going to use a really wet brush, and I'm going to dip it in my gesso. And then I'm going to use water to just spread this around. Okay. And you could even take your page and just do this. I'm not kidding. This is a need to do type journal page today. Look at that. That's fabulous. Oh, do it again. There. That's great. So everybody's like, what? No, it's great. So my pencil probably won't show up on that, but oh, I know. I'm going to dry this and I'll be right back. Okay. So my pencil probably, oh no, wait. Okay. So I could, let's see. That's not really going to show up very well. Okay. I do have my Caran d'Ache water-soluble pencils. The other thing is, I'm wondering why do they have to be water-soluble? I have these really cute beeswax crayons. And that might be interesting because they'll act as a resist. So, let me think. Do I want to use that? Do I want to? I'm going to use my stabilo. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dip it in a little bit of water. You can see how black that is. And I'm going to write something like, let's see. And you write whatever kind of matters to you. And it's not writing that people can see or understand. This is just putting an intention on paper, right? And use positive words, okay? Okay, now what I want to do is I found this piece of a dictionary paper, and it says there's joy and there's jubilate and jubilant. And I'm going to take my stabilo again, and I'm going to circle this joy, and then I'm going to, let's see, what do I want? I want something pretty. I feel like I need something pretty. And like I've cut out a bunch of flowers from using my Cricut. And I know this is a November page. It's okay. These are kind of watercolory. Maybe too watercolory. This is kind of darker. I don't want yellow. I don't want yellow. Okay, I don't want that. But I might want maybe these. And I'm thinking of, I don't know, do I want to use some papers in here? It's hard when you don't feel like your brain is working, right? Or you don't feel as happy as you think you should feel. And that's actually really pretty. What if we, but that's where, you know, you can take that time to just quietly find, you know, a moment to just sort of muck around. And you know what? If it doesn't work, who cares? It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to. It just doesn't have to. That's not what's important, right? It's sitting down and doing that's the important part, instead of, you know, going to bed, right? You know what I think would be really cool is, I don't want to do that transfer thing again. I'm not up to that today, but I could, because number one, I don't want to sit around and wait for gesso to dry while this is transferring. Do you know what I mean? My brain's not there. I don't want to do that. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to glue this down. Glue that down. I'm going to put it right there. glue that one there. I'm going to glue this one there. Okay. Okay. Move this out of the way for a minute. Where's my lid? Okay. Now I'm going to use up the rest of this white paint. And I'm just going to go, I'm not going around the flowers. I'm just going to and if I don't like what's on them, I will scrape it off, right? And you don't try and make your page like mine. That's not what this is about. That is not what this is about. Although I will leave the list of ingredients below, but don't, you know, especially if you're feeling the way I feel today, this is not about completing something like a lesson. This isn't a lesson at all. This is like find some enjoyment, even if you don't feel like you can. That's all this is. What's one of the reasons that we journal, right? It's good for your soul. I am liking that a lot. Okay, now, again, I'm going to dry this and then I will be back. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of white to my red. Okay, and here I'm going to use a paintbrush. I am going to use an actual paintbrush. And I'm not using anything fancy. I am using a crap brush. And so I'm just going to take a little bit of the red and some of the white. And I'm going to make myself a little bit of a pinky color. And then I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to follow the pattern of the flowers that I can see. Just going to lay down some color on those petals. Okay, and put some more here. Nothing fancy. We're just doing, like, you know, phony baloney petal strokes. Okay, and then I'm going to take a little bit more red, and I'm not mixing this overly. It doesn't have to be mixed. And then I'm just going to go in and add some darker little petal strokes. Okay, they don't have to look like flowers. They just have to give the impression of flowers. And the flower, it's already there. It's already on your page. We're just, you know, doing our own thing to it. Take some red, right? Take some white. Maybe add some, you know, white in there. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to use more white. Like hardly any red at all. I'm going to make like a pale pink. Okay. And I'm just going to put some darker in here along the insides of this white rose. Okay. And in here. And just follow the pattern that's there. You can see on the picture of the rose where the dark parts are, and just throw some color on there. Then go back and take your white with that little bit of pink in it. Okay. You'll want to mix this one up a little bit better. Okay. And then we're just going to add the color here. And if you want to add it fairly thick to cover up the paper, do you see that where we laid down the actual piece of paper? You can cover up the edges with your paint, and then you can kind of blend those so they look a little more petally, right? This is such a fun way to paint a flower because, you know, sometimes you just don't want to go to the work and effort of actually doing a flower. So then don't. Just don't. Okay, let's take a little bit of, let's use some green. Oh, I've got some green. Let's see, which one is this? I think this is green gold in this palette here. I think that's green gold. This, I'll write it down in the box below. And we'll just, you know, add some more color here. There. Okay. And I'm going to take also, now I'm not going to clean off my brush. I'm just going to take a tiny little bit of the ultramarine blue and mix that in. And then I'm just going to darken in here to give it some depth. And then, right? Just a little bit of depth. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little smoosh of the Payne's Gray, and I'm going to mix a teeny bit of that with some of the umber, and I'm just going to smoosh in here. We're just smooshing in here, okay? Don't worry about blending it or anything. I'm just gonna smoosh it like that, okay? Then a little bit around the leaves, so to make them pop, make that green pop a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to go in behind here and do the same thing. Okay, a little bit in there. Okay. Okay. You can add a little more blue there if you want. Okay. Now just as the paint sort of dries and thins out a bit, just pull it out. Just use your brush. You're using a ratty, crappy brush. Just pull that through. Scrub it into the texture and everything. Okay. If you find it gets too dark, don't worry about it. Throw a little bit of white on your brush and smoosh it in. There. Okay. I'm just going to rub this off, and I'm going to grab a teeny bit of white on the tip of my brush, and I'm just going to kind of roughly blend that in a bit because I didn't like how far out that was going. Okay. Now, while this is sticky, you can get this gold leaf. You can get silver. It's not real gold. It's not real silver. So eventually it will tarnish or something. We're going to just take pieces and we're just going to lay them down and smush them into the paint and wherever they'll stick. Okay? I'm just going to smoosh wherever they will stick. Wherever they'll stick. You just take this. This is so much fun. I think these were $1.25. There you go. Smush. I cannot tell you how satisfying this is. And then, like, if you do a boo-boo like that, if you can get the gold to stick on top of the smeared paint, great. If not, just take your paintbrush and dab some white over top of it. But that stuck, so I'm happy. And basically, you're letting the page decide where the gold is going to stick. Okay? Because whatever's drying is not going to take the gold, right? Just see where it'll stick. Okay, there. When this is dry, you're going to go over with a brush and rub all the stuff off that doesn't stick, okay? But for now, we're just seeing what's going to stick. Okay. This is very satisfying. You can just sort of feel if there's anything sticky areas left to kind of see if it'll stick anywhere. And if you want to go nuts, go nuts. If you just want a little bit, just do a little bit. I feel like going nuts because that's how I feel today. And you know, nothing has to really happen to make you feel like that, you know? Sometimes we just do. I love that. Okay. Now, this. I'm going to want to put this somewhere, but I don't want it this big, I don't think. I think I want that smaller. I don't know what I want. I'm just going to, I don't like the way when I ripped the white shirt on there, so I'm just gonna do that. And then I'm probably just gonna put that like that. Aww. Liking it. I'm liking it. It feels like a miracle when something like this happens. Especially if you don't feel happy, right? Let's see. I'm going to put the lid on my gesso so it doesn't dry out. And I'm going to use, that's white. Let's not use that. I'm going to use I'm not going to put any medium over this. I'm going to use, I'll use the matte medium to glue this down. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I will do. Okay, I'm going to clean brush and squeeze the water out. And I'm just going to, I heard the birds, like we don't have snow forecast for today, but I could hear the birds going nuts. So I don't know. I sort of like the way, usually when they go nuts it snows, but it's not forecast. Anyways, I like the way this looks like this is part of the flower, that gold chunk there. That makes me happy. Then I'm going to put some more of that on here. And then I'm just going to put that there. And I'm not going to smear this. I'm going to just touch it because I used the stabilo there and I don't want to smear it. Okay. So I'm gonna see if drying this will help speed up this whole gold process, because I want to rub this off and show you. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay. So this is still warm, but I think it's okay. So now you're gonna want to take a fluffy brush and you're just gonna want to rub on your gold, and that'll take off any loose bits, and it'll also polish up what is there on your page. I love working with gold leaf. It is so satisfying. You know what's interesting is this, even though the way I feel today, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my page. I mean, I never know what I want to do with my page, but I actually didn't feel like doing a page, and I like this page better than any of the other pages in my book so far. Maybe it's because of the intentions that I wrote underneath. I don't know. But when you write your intentions, write something lovely, like I am lovely, or my art is lovely, my family is lovely, I'm special, any of those kinds of things. Write those kinds of things. Okay? nice things. Good and healthy, wonderful things. And look at that. There's like beautiful gold all over my desk now. Look at that. Look at that. I love this page. I love it. And you know what? I don't have to write on it because I've already written underneath. That feeling is already there, right? The sentiment is underneath. And, I love this page. I love it. So, go. Create something beautiful. Create something beautiful. And even on the days that you don't feel like doing anything beautiful, go create something beautiful. We didn't do anything special. We just smushed stuff. That's it. We just smushed and glued, and that was it. So, and besides that, putting a little bit of gold leaf on anything makes anything look good. Okay, take care. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Leave me your comments. Okay, bye.